It is interesting to speculate if younger viewers are familiar with Paddy Chayefsky's Network and what they might think of it. Popular and acclaimed at its release in the 1970s, it offers a satirical jeremiad against television and, by extension, popular culture. That extension is the intriguing part, because many of the sins that Chayefsky condemns in television are just as true of social media and the hypertrophied consumerism that supports them. Among the many offenses shared by all is rage bait. "I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore," is the famous cry of despair that TV news anchor Howard Beale, Peter Finch, makes on live television, thereby setting in motion an exploitation of popular discontent for profit. That sounds current, but while the social, political, and economic grievances which fuel Beale's flamboyant disintegration are even truer today than in the 1970s, broadcast TV exercises far less influence over popular consciousness, except perhaps with older audiences. The fury Beale unleashes has become daily currency that requires no external messianic exhortation. People do it for themselves by clicking and swiping to share their frustrations with other monads. Nonetheless, Chayefsky's rant is initially engrossing. The central story conflict, in which the UBS network's news division is threatened by corporate backers more interested in profit than information, sounds all too prescient. But that's just Chayefsky's entry into the realm of the grotesque. When, for example, the ambitious head of programming, Diana Christensen, Faye Dunaway, commissions a terrorist group to film their attacks so they can be shown on TV, that outrage seems like only a slight exaggeration and anticipation of supposed reality television. Thus, even those too young to have been shaped by television can recognize contemporary relevance in Beale's demented decline. On the other hand, the satire has trouble building to a suitable climax while maintaining a realistic texture. The closer we get to a conclusion consistent with the exaggerated action, the more contrived and ginned up it feels. Director Sidney Lumet handles the high-pressure New York media world with characteristic drive and skill. As long as the action remains grounded, he and the actors know how to put Chayefsky's overwrought material across. When Beale's paranoia becomes more explicitly diseased, however, the attempts at stylization fall flat. Lumet may not be responsible for that failing, because Network is one of those rare films in which the screenwriter had final control. The opening credits unusually identify the film as, quote, Paddy Chayefsky's Network, unquote, and he was co-producer. In such a setup, it is hardly surprising that the ironies are rammed home with sledgehammer subtlety. Lumet may have been at the peak of his career when Network was made, and he does a lot with the material, but he was not empowered to deviate from Chayefsky's emphatic moral certainty. As a result, perverse as it may sound, Network might have been a more interesting film if everyone could have occasionally ignored the script.